Welcome everybody. Today we're making Carne Asada rice bowls. This is so delicious and perfect for meal prepping. So you can make this, maybe on a Sunday, and you can have these laid out in your refrigerator for the next 3 or 4 days. It's perfect. Now, we're going to be making, marinating our Carne Asada just beautifully with a bunch of spices. It's going to turn out nice and juicy and flavorful. And we're going to serve it with some, like I said, cilantro lime rice. We got some black beans. We have some corn. And we're going to serve it with, finish it off with some guacamole, sour cream, and cheese. Delicious, guys. It's phenomenal. You're going to love it. I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. So to start our recipe, we need to marinate our steak, our skirt steak, for a good 2 hours. 4 is even better. 4 to 6 hours would be perfect. I would go maybe up to 8 total, and that's plenty. But anyway, so I like to use skirt steak because it is the most tender and flavorful cut, and it's wonderful. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to place all my ingredients. I'm not going to go over them separately, but I'm going to show you what's in the marinade as I add it to my 9x13 baking dish here. And once we get everything mixed in there, we're going to mix it up, and then we'll add the meat to it and let it marinate for a couple hours. So the first ingredient we have here is some fresh squeezed orange juice. I like to use fresh, it just has a better flavor. And I'm using my Braun electric juicer, which works beautifully and very quickly. So when you're doing lots of fruits, I think that's the way to go. So I'm going to add that. And by the way, you can get all the ingredients down below in the description of this video. Click where it says show more and scroll down, and you'll get the written recipe down there if you need it. All right, next up is some fresh lemon juice and lime juice. Same thing with the electric mixer or juicer. Pour that in. Then I'm going to zest the lime into the mixture as well. Then we'll be adding some smoked paprika. That gives it a nice little smoky flavor. I have some oregano, dried oregano, Ancho chili powder. Now the Ancho chili powder gives you some nice smoky flavor as well. A little bit of cumin, ground cumin. Now to kind of balance out all of the acid in this recipe, we're going to be adding a little brown sugar to it to just sort of balance things out. I'm going to add some regular chili powder to this, some apple cider vinegar, some salt, garlic powder. And now I chopped up some green onions. I used the whole thing, just chopped them up, and some fresh garlic cloves. I'm going to add both. We'll also add some olive oil to this, and we'll finish it off with some cilantro that I chopped up and just sprinkle that in. Stir it up, and then we'll place our skirt steak right in there. Make sure that each piece gets coated and is underneath the liquid. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we're serving up our Carne Asada bowls with black beans. So I'm using canned black beans and canned corn. Now my corn is organic, and I like to use organic because I don't like, most corn in the country is, genetically modified. So I like to use organic because there's more likely that it's not GMOs. So I'm hoping that that's the case. So while the Carne Asada is marinating for, a couple hours at least, you have time to make some other things that are going to go into this dish. So the first thing that I would make would be some guacamole. I have a great recipe for you. I'm going to leave a link for it right up here, so go ahead and click that and you'll learn how to make some of the best delicious guacamole ever. I have some sour cream. I have it in my handy dandy squeeze bottle here that makes it very easy to apply, and it goes where you want it to go. Let's see what else. Oh, I'm going to be grilling up some onions because I think that just goes fantastic on a bowl. And the other thing that we need to prepare is some cilantro lime rice, and of course I have a recipe for you for that as well, and I'll leave a link right up here. So go ahead and make that ahead of time as well. It's super easy and it is very flavorful, so you'll love it. And if you guys want to add anything else to your bowl, you can. It certainly is very customizable, so feel free to add any other ingredients you love. The other thing I might add is I'm going to grate up some cheese and add that on top. All right, so I'm cooking our onions in a cast iron pan because you get the best golden brown onions when you cook with this. It's the best, and I highly recommend it. So I'm going to place some olive oil in the pan, kind of just cover the bottom of the pan, a tablespoon or so. And in my view, you can't cook too many onions, so I cut up 2 here. I got my temperature medium high, and we'll just cook these. We can turn it down a little bit if they start browning up too quickly, but it should be fine. And then we'll just season these with just a touch of salt. So here's what our onions look like. Look at this, beautiful golden brown. These are going to taste incredible on your rice bowls. So that looks good to me. That's how I like it. So So I'm gonna turn off the heat. This pan will help keep them warm because that's just the way they are. They keep food warm long after you turn the heat off. All right, I got my grill hot here, and I'm gonna start placing skirt steak on top. I've got it turned down to medium now. This is gonna cook up in probably two minutes per side, maybe 3, something like that. I don't wanna overcook this. All right, we're gonna turn these over. Go a couple, 2-3 more minutes. Okay, I'm gonna pull these off. They've been about 2 minutes per side and they are done. I've got a nice clean bowl here. I'm gonna put these in so that, you know, we gotta put stuff in a clean dish and we're ready to serve this up. We're gonna let this meat rest for about 3 to 5 minutes. So everything's done. Our carne asada is done barbecuing on the barbecue. It smells amazing. I'm gonna cut it up here in just a second, but I wanna show you my spread. I've got it all set up so that it's ready to go. People can come along and just fill their bowls and eat some really delicious foods. And if you want to, you know, do this as a meal prep, you know, you get some of these plastic or glass containers and just line them up, fill them up, put them in the fridge, and you've got a fantastic meal for the rest of the week. So, okay, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and slice up the meat. And you wanna make sure you cut this meat against the grain. So the grain is running from, you know, say right to left, okay? So I'm gonna cut it here first, and then I'm gonna slice it this way, which is going across the grain. And you can see how nicely cooked this is. It's a little bit on the rare side. But if you want to reheat this at all, that gives you a little room to reheat without drying it out. This is beautiful. So I'm just going to slice it like that, and then I'm going to cut it crossways again just so that it's more bite-sized pieces. So like I said, this meat was very thin, so it only took 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes on the first side and about 2 minutes on the second side when I flipped it over. So this is how I would arrange it. Put some cilantro lime rice in the bowl. Next I'd probably go with some beans, black beans in there. A little bit of corn. Got some of these delicious caramelized grilled onions. Look at that, it's beautiful. All right, so here's our beef. I think it's time for some, what do you think? Sour cream next. And we'll hit it with some guacamole, homemade. This stuff is amazing. And then I like to finish it off with a little cheese. And that's it. We're good to go. These are so delicious. These are going to be some of your most favorite carne asada bowls that you've ever had. I tell you, these are so good. If you make them the way I made them, you're gonna love them, I'm almost certain. All right, I hope you enjoyed my carne asada bowls. They are so delicious. This is all gonna just disappear in just a little while here because my family's gonna be coming home and they are gonna just devour it. It is so good. So I hope you try it. You know, let me know if you do. I'd love to hear your results down in the comments below. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, be sure and click that subscribe button. And there's a bell next to it down below where you'll be notified every week when a new video comes out. So we'd love to have you. So thanks again. We'll see you next time.